FTB server. Now, in the last episode, well, for one thing, I had something of a sound problem. The game sounds were way too loud, and I have corrected that. I do believe 5% will be low enough to keep it from overriding me in the video, and I'm sorry for letting that happen. I've had a number of sound issues over the recent weeks, and I think maybe I've finally gotten them under control. We'll see. Anyway, in the last episode, I was talking about I'm going to be doing some tweaking, some modifying, and expanding this sorting and processing system, making it able to handle more stuff faster, and have maybe a little bit better organization about the whole place here. And originally, I was intending to do this almost entirely off camera, but I was just putting in a couple of new recyclers, and I put transformer upgrades in all of them as well. And it occurred to me that there's no point in doing it all off camera. I mean, perhaps the grind of making up, say, another 20 overclockers or something like that, I will do off camera, but I don't have to do the whole thing off camera like that, so I'm not going to. Anyway, so my next task is I'm going to make another 20 overclocker upgrades for these two recyclers, because with 2 transformer upgrades and feeding it 512 EU per tick power directly from the MFSU, then these things will be able to run full bore with 10 overclockers each. So I'm going to get busy grinding out overclocker upgrades. All right. It took me a while, and it really is something of a grind, but I've got enough overclockers now to max these two machines out. 4, 4, and 2 each. Total of 10 overclocker upgrades with 2 transformer upgrades each. And that means that I will now be able to hook up high voltage power, 512 EU per tick, directly to that machine down there. To those machines, whatever. Okay, now. Okay, I see a little bit of a problem here, but this switch can be moved. Alright, that'll work. And let's see. It would help if I had my glass fiber cable. That's probably not enough. Alright. Alrighty, let's see. Run the high voltage line off the MFSU over this way, in there. And I will go the long way around instead of bouncing around like an idiot. Well, that was a bad idea. There. Run that line down here. Break that for a moment so I can get back out. All right. Okay, put that stone pipe back. All right. should be able to go ahead and fill some of this in. Like so. Alright. Not the greatest arrangement perhaps, but it should work. And now down here, alright. Okay. I will rearrange how these pneumatic tubes go. Instead of having them come back, I will have them go up. And meanwhile, glass fiber will come down here and go over there and hook up to the recyclers. Just as soon as I make some more of it. Let's hope 12 is enough. The glass fiber cable is a little on the pricey side, as you can see. There. Now we have full power 512 EU with tick available for the recyclers. And with those transformer upgrades and 10 overclocker upgrades each, these things should pretty well fly. Now let me take a minute and fix this. There. It'll work the same, it's just vertical instead of horizontal. Alrighty. That takes care of that for the moment. Now the next thing I was going to address was going to be getting barrels set up there and up topside a little in a few places over there by the processed metals chests. But before I get to that, I want to address the serious lack of wood. And in order to do that, I'm going to put down a couple of forestry farms. One of them will be for regular vanilla oak wood. That'll be fine. And the other one, I'm going to set up to handle rubber trees. Because part of the problem with this overclocker thing was all of the electronic circuits I had to make and the almost 2 stacks of insulated copper cable that I needed to make in order to do that. And that meant spending a lot of time grinding out there waiting for rubber trees to regrow their resin spots. So, let's see. What I'm going to need is an arboretum. Simple enough machine, actually. Basic circuit, that's not a problem. So I need a carpenter and a thermionic fabricator. And so I'm going to get the stuff together and build those 2 machines and get them set up over here so that I can build the arboretum and lugger. And I'll be back in a bit. Alright, I have got my carpenter and thermionic fabricator made. And I'm just going to set them up temporarily here because, well, because. And I'm going to run some redstone energy conduit off of this cell. And let's see, whack that with a wrench. Okay, these things should have all the power they need. And now the carpenter requires water. And I am just going to use a bucket to load it up with enough for this operation because this is a temporary installation. I'll get around to setting it up permanently another time. Complete with an aqueous accumulator and so on to provide all the water it's ever going to need. Alright, that actually should be enough for the time being. This thing, I need some glass in there. Okay, now, for the arboretum, I need golden electron tubes, which is 2 redstone, 5 gold in this machine. Okay. With the glass, yeah. Alright. I've got redstone on me, okay. So, bingo, we have 4 tubes of that kind. And for the logger, we need diamantine tubes, which is the same thing only with diamonds. Okay, it does occur to me I actually need one more set of those because I want to make 2 of each machine. And that means I need diamonds. Wait a minute, I have some up here, don't I? 6. That's probably not enough. It gets me 4, and I need 4 more diamonds. So these are some pricey machines, but worthwhile, I think, in the long run. It's going to save me a lot of grief having to cut logs and harvest rubber and so on. Alright, there is my tubes. And from this machine, I need 4 basic circuits, and that is 10 with redstone. Okay, I have 10. I bet I'm going to need some more water in that thing. There's 1. Two. There's number 3. And this will be the last one. Alright, I have my 4 basic circuits. Alright. Start with the logger. Make 2 of those. Wait a minute. No, I had it backwards. And sturdy casing, which is with bronze. I'm going to have to make up some more bronze. 2 loggers. All right. 16 bronze should take care of the rest of that. Now the Arboretum. 2 more sturdy casings and the golden tubes. Tell me I'm not out of glass. That's going to annoy me something fierce. Okay, I'll be back when I have some glass. I should have remembered. I have glass right over here. Okay. And two arboretums. Alright, and it occurs to me I should probably disconnect the power of that, because if I recall correctly, the thermionic fabricator continues to draw power even when it's not doing anything, so we don't want to waste that. Okay, we've got logger, arboretum. Alright. Let's see. Alright, I have a couple of electrical... I have some electrical engines around here. Well, wait a minute. No. Alright, first I have to figure out where they're going to be put. These 2 tree farms. And I'll see if I can figure... I will figure out a good spot for them, and I'll be back. Okay, I was just getting ready to set things up, and I realized there was one more thing I needed. And that was... this tree tap machine. 4 tree taps, sturdy casing, glass, but for some reason the recipe doesn't seem to want to work. I know I've got it right. Well, maybe not. No? Well, the recipe is right. Let's see if it'll work at a regular crafting table. I don't have a regular crafting table. Alright, this thing is supposed to work. It's supposed to make that. Okay, then I'm not going to bother with it. At least not right now. If anybody knows why that doesn't work, I'd be really glad to hear it. Okay, my logger, my arboretum, and I've figured out not only a place, but a power solution as well. I may need some more energy conduit, but that won't be a problem. I figured right over here I have a combination of open space and some magnetic engines set up to create power from lava. All I need to do is disconnect that from the quarry because it doesn't need it anymore. And I'm going to go ahead and pick that up for the moment. And get this out of the way. And I am going to run some power over this way. Actually, I should run it underground. That ought to be right enough. Yes, I'm going to need more conduit. That's okay. I'm going to need to make up humus, whatever you call it. Alright, I'm going to get more conduit, get some humus made up, because the Arboretum is going to need that, and get my saplings ready and so on, and I'll be back. Alright, I think I've got everything together now. So just run this thing out here. And I think that ought to actually be good right there. So I'll just cover that. And we'll start out with an Arboretum. And the Arboretum needs humus in these slots. It has power. And we want oak saplings here. And it will output sand as a byproduct. So all I have to do is turn the power on and that will start running. And now, a logger, go right next to it. Oh, I didn't need that. Thank you, inventory tweaks. Not. Now the logger doesn't have a interface, but it just cuts down the trees in the area and outputs the logs, saplings, and any apples or whatever that drop. For now, I'm just going to put a chest up against it to contain its output. And now, let's see. Let's get this liquid tesseract in place. And we'll go ahead and enable the lava channel. Engines are running. Power is being sent in here. And it is now clearing the area where it will build the tree farm. Apparently it's going to clear off the snow. And then it will start laying down humus and planting saplings. Once they grow, the logger will cut them down, collect any sapling droppings or apple droppings or whatever. It almost sounds like the tree's taking a dump. Sapling droppings and apple droppings. Okay, perhaps that was a little more gross than it needed to be, but that's alright. What the heck. Alright, we have our farm starting up. Saplings are being produced, planted. And I don't care about the snowballs and the stray bit of dirt here and there, so I'm just going to let them despawn. It should plant the whole thing. 50 saplings should be more than enough to get the whole thing going. There we go. All right. And I'm going to hang out here and wait for some stuff to grow. As a matter of fact, I might go get some bone meal to speed things along. All right. Got some bone meal here. So let's just... Okay, I don't see anything happening with the bone meal. Okay, has bone meal been nerfed in the Hermitcraft FTB pack? As in disabled? Seems to have been. Because I'm clicking and not anything is happening. Now I know they slowed down its effectiveness somewhat in vanilla, but this seems to be completely worthless. I don't know, we'll see. I guess I'll just have to wait for something to grow. And so while I do that, I'm going to get a chunk loader set up here because this thing's going to need it. And I'll be back when we have some tree growth action going on. All right, the farm is definitely working. We have trees having grown and they're being cut down. Almost as soon as they grow, the thing is starting to cut them down. And let's see. What we got here, logs and saplings are showing up here in the chest. And what I'm going to have to do is work out a automation system to pull saplings from the chest and put them in here, and also to pull sand from here and send it back to the system. Because the sand can be used to make fertilizer, which is part of making humus that keeps this thing running. And other than that, once I get the automation system worked out, I'm going to set up another one of these over here somewhere, in which I will be feeding it rubber tree saplings instead. Because even if it doesn't harvest the resin spots, which I honestly don't know whether it will or not, even if it doesn't, the rubber wood logs can be processed in an extractor for rubber, and that will be good. And so, with that, I will say thanks for watching. Take it easy. I'm out of here.